Now, if you guys are like me, you like waking up in the morning and get your nice big fill of water. I know I do.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces.
It's time to get wet. What is up, guys? It's Kyler from Team Moons, and today we're going to give you a deck profile on my Mermail deck for the Link format. Now, this deck lost a lot with Norden getting banned and stuff, but the deck is still really powerful, and you can still actually do the Toad play, even though a lot of people think that you can't. With the inclusion of a lot of cards that are good in Link format, it does give the deck an extra boost to be able to make it OTK as much as it could before, and also compete with all the decks that are rampant right now. It is good against Zodiac and stuff like that if you get the right opening hand, and there are so many board wipes in this deck and so many answers to their board that most of the time it's not going to matter what they have. So that being said, time to get right into the deck profile. So first you're running 3 Mermail Abyss Megalo. He's your most important. He attacks twice, does all the damage. You're running your 3 Vistius. He's the main combo starter of the deck. You need to see this in your opening hand pretty much all the time. You need 1 lead in this deck. I was running a lead because I like the option to, if I'm forced to go first, I can drop a card out of my opponent's hand, which is usually pretty good. As well as the fact that you can have an extra way to discard your cards. So sometimes you can actually open up with no Megalo and no Vistius, and like there's no way you're going to be discarding cards, but this guy changed that a little bit, and he's also beefy. Next you're running 2 Pike. He's pretty good for searching, and he's just an extra discard outlet. He's also a level 4 water, which is why he's in here mostly. You're running 2 Guns. It's probably one of the most important Mermail, the small ones anyway. Reborn something from the graveyard makes some really good plays. It's pretty good for OTKs and stuff. Next, the Atlantean Engine. You're running your Deep Sea Diva, very important in the deck. Get you probably your best card in your whole deck, I'd say, which is your Neptibus. Dumps 1, sends 1, adds 1. Pretty much get your whole combo going. And if you summon this, he's part of so many 2-card OTKs, it's ridiculous. Next, you're playing 2 Heavy Infantry. Only 2 is fine because you have other ways to blow up cards, and this is really, really good. 2 Dragoons. If he was at 3, I'd run it at 3, obviously, because he's the best Atlantean. He searches pretty much everything in your deck. And the 1 Marksman. You only want 1 Marksman because most stuff that you're going to be blowing up with this anyway is going to be chainable. Stuff like D-Barrier and all that stuff. So, I mean, he's okay, but like he's not like super, super broken right now. Next, you're running 2 Gamma Seal and 1 Thunder King. I'm running this ratio because 2 Gamma Seal is really good because you can discard it off of Megalo and stuff like that if you don't need it, because he is a water. And Thunder King is good because he allows you to OTK more with Intrepid Kaiju Slumber, which I do run in this deck. So 3 is really good. Next, you're running 2 Aqua Spirit because you can still do the Toad play, and Aqua Spirit helps you get that extra level 4 on the board to exceed. 2 is fine because you don't want to open multiples, but you want to see it kind of. Next, because we're playing Lynx and he's not banned yet, we're playing 3 Gofu. He's insane. He's your one card Deco Talker. So if you open this and then Megalo and some other waters, you can do this guy to summon double Link Spider, and then go into Deco Talker, and then summon your Bahamut Shark, and then your Toad right afterwards. So he still does the same play, and he's just a really broken card right now. And lastly, you're running Maxi because Maxi should be banned. For the spells, you're running 1 for 1. This searches for your Neptibus. Very essential. Abyssal Cestus. I'm running this because I find more often than not the things that are going to stop me are stuff like Mirror Force and stuff. So this stops that. A lot of people run the spell one, but like a lot of the spells you can stop are for the opponent's turn, so it's only good going first. Unless you're trying to hit something like my body or something, but I find the trap one is just better and it gives more attack. Next, you're running some board wipes, you're running Geki and Double Slumber. You can choose to run Dark Hole instead if you're scared that they're going to Ash this, but in testing, Ash hasn't been coming out that much recently because it was still pretty good. So this 3 board wipes works out for me. You're running 2 Moray Breed. This is your good draw engine. Pretty much everything in your deck is water, so putting stuff back and drawing extra cards like a +1 is really good. I'm not playing 3 because you don't really want to see more than one, and I do like it more than Desires right now, just because you are running a lot of combo pieces that you do want to see. And this puts back stuff that can be pretty clunky that you only want to search. So that being said, just 2 of those. Next you're running 2 Instant Fusion. Yes, Norden is banned, but there is still a card called Rare Fish, which is a level 4 water fusion. So he helps out make your Bahamut Shark and do a bunch of rank 4 plays and stuff like that. So the Instant Fusion is still really good. And lastly, for the main deck, you're running 2 Twin Twisters. You already have a lot of destruction in this deck, and this just helps it go even further with Twin Twisters. It's really good going first, really good going second. Going second, you pot 2 cards before you do anything. Going first, you set it, and then you just kind of interrupt all their stuff as you're trying to go off. So Twin Twisters is really good. On for the extra deck, we're playing 1 Decode Talker. We are in Link format. This is Link ready. He's really good. He negates stuff. He's like an extra toad, so he's pretty cool. And to go into him with Gofu, we play double Link Spider for the tokens, and then Gofu goes into Decode Talker. It's essential. It's your 3 cards that you need to run your extra deck ever since Gofu is not banned. So until Gofu gets banned, this is pretty much going to be staple in a lot of people's extra decks, I'm pretty sure. We're running Instant Fusion, so we're going to run our 1 Rare Fish. He's pretty good. He does what he needs to do. We're running 1 White Aura Whale. Now this profile is going to be for, it's basically 2 decks, as I've already told you so far. So this card you're going to be summoning off of the, not the Gofu engine, but the other engine in the deck. And I'll be explaining that combo at the end. You're running Coral Dragon. He's a really good level 6 synchro. 2 Bahamut Shark and 2 Toads. You're running 2 of each because you're not really going to be summoning more than 1 of each. But if they just happen to cherish you or something, or with the Gasm you want to still be able to go into your play. So this is pretty much just that ratio just for that. Next you're running Utopia and the Lightning. It's good for pushing extra damage. You're an OTK deck, you want an OTK. 1 Dweller is really good against Draco and against Dinos. Silent Anarch is really good against Lynx. And Abyscos, good level 7 for when you're going first. And you need to stop their effects. And of course we got the 2 Gofu tokens. So that being said, guys, that's the deck profile. Alright guys, so onto the combo portion of the video. This is basically going to decide on what version of the deck you're going to play. There's 2 different versions you can play, and there's 7 cards difference in the main deck for each version. So the Gofu version, you're going to be running these 3 cards, and this is going to pretty much decide if you want to do the Toad play, or if you want to do the White Aura Whale play. The White Aura Whale play is way better for OTKing because it adds 3 extra monsters in your deck that pretty much give you 3 more board wipes. And this card is really resilient to being destroyed, and it attacks twice, does piercing, blows up everything in the attack position your opponent has. It's a really crazy card, so taking advantage of it is pretty good. But also the Toad play and Decode Talker play is also really good. It puts a lot more damage on the board in like spread out monsters. And if you don't need the board wipes per se, well then this might be the better option for you. So that being said, the 7 cards and the difference. So these are the ones you're going to take out in the Gofu version. You're going to take out your Aqua Spirits, your Gofus, and your Instant Fusions because you're not trying to do the rank 4s, so you're taking these 2 out. And you're taking out the Gofus because you're not going to need them if you're not going to go into Lynx. So for those 7 cards, you're going to swap out for Double Dark Hole, Foolish, Upstart, and 3 Fishborg Launcher. Now this is the spice. This is the version I like. So what Fishborg Launcher does is if you have more monsters in your graveyard and they're all water, you can special summon this card from the graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. So if you just open up, like, say, Abystius and Fishborg Launcher, that's an instant White Aura Whale, and that's just 2 of your cards. You also have 3 more cards to do your other combo plays, which is like really, really easy in Mermail. Like if you open up like a Neptibus, Fishborg Launcher, and Abystius, you just go insane. It's also possible to do a Foolish Burial too, that's why that's in there. Because Foolish Burial just sends us to the graveyard, which does the same purpose of pitching it to summon it. So that's why that's in there, and you want your Upstart for consistency in this build, because you want to blow up their field every single time, which is why you add 2 more board wipes in there as well. So that being said, let's get into like just a really simple combo here. So you're going to activate the effect of your Mermail Abystius in hand. Disturb your Fishborg Launcher, and then do your searching. And then since you're going to have something else in the graveyard, You can special summon this back, and then synchro for level 8 because it needs a water tuner and a water non-tuner. White or a whale, blow up all their attack positions. If they have their Trident in defense, they're going to try to pop this. It comes back if you just banish a water, which you already sent there. And then you attack over the Trident. In the defense mode, it does piercing, and it's 28. It's pretty crazy. So that's a really good instance of why you would run this card. It does require a little bit of extra setup play by trying to get something else in the graveyard, just to have something else for the Fishboard Launcher to summon off of itself. But if you can do that, which is very, very easy in this deck, I can't stress that enough, this is a really good option. It's really resilient. The reason why this card is good is because if they try to destroy it by any card that they control by battle or card effect, it just brings itself back, and it's not once per turn, and this card is really insane. It goes way under the radar from Battle Legends Light's Revenge. Nobody's been talking about this card, but I like it a lot. So that being said, guys, that's the deck profile, and if you like it, feel free to leave a like below. It helps me out a lot. Feel free to comment and definitely subscribe. And that being said, guys, I'll see you next time.